Kiss, Judas Priest, Aerosmith, the Headpins. You like what you hear so far? Well, all that and more coming right up. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, music lovers? It's your buddy Jax, back again with another vinyl update. It's been a little while since my last one, and boy oh boy do I have some goodies for you guys today. All hard rock and metal. I lucked out. I'm working full time again for the summer, while I'm out of school. So I'm kind of taking advantage of the bigger paycheck, spending money on music. I know I shouldn't, but I can't help it. You guys know how it is. So yeah, I got nine albums to talk about, and I'm really happy about every single one of them. So what do you say? Just get into it. First one I want to talk about. A little while back, a few weeks ago, a lot of you probably saw that I had won a contest from Brother Lee, Noise Spectrum, and he had sent me a Crocus LP as well as a surprise LP by Santers, but he also sent me $25, and that was to spend at a local record store. He's a strong believer in supporting local record stores. And as soon as I saw $25, I knew exactly what I was going to get. There's this one album that I had my eye on for the past year, probably, at a local store called Spin It, and it was exactly $25. So I thought, this is perfect. So without any further ado, here we go. Anvil, Metal on Metal. This is a picture disc. Hope you're not getting too much glare. Yeah, so this was exactly $25, and it's a French import. I had my eye on this for so long. I don't know how many times I had it in my hands and I just put it back, but finally, I thought it's meant to be. I got $25. It cost $25, so I went ahead and got it. I've loved this album for years and years and years. I have it on CD. I didn't have it on vinyl, and this is also, I should add, my first picture disc in my collection. Didn't have any before, and I was a little nervous because I heard from a lot of people in the VC that picture discs, especially the ones from the 70s and 80s, don't sound that good. So I gave it a listen, and what they say is true. I have to agree. The sound quality is not the best. It's very noisy. That's the best way I can describe it. It's noisy in the sense that it sounds very staticky, but it's not, you can tell it's not surface scratches or dust. It's just, that's how it sounds. So it's kind of a shame, but again, it's cool to look at. It's a great collector's item, so I'm definitely not complaining. I'm really happy to have it, especially that I didn't have any Anvil in my collection up until this point. I have about 5 of their albums on CD, none on vinyl, so Metal on Metal, picture disc. I had to get it. The next one I picked up, this one was cheap. I paid $3 for this one. And I got this, Paul brought me to this new place called Matt's Media Outlet. It's kind of this flea market pawn shop type place, and the guy has a lot of vinyl and a lot of good stuff. And what I like about him is that he prices them fairly. He prices them according to condition. So I've been going there quite regularly, as you'll see soon. The first one I picked up there was Headpins, Line of Fire. Always looking where the windows are. Yeah, Headpins, for those of you who don't know, is a Canadian hard rock group with a pretty cute female vocalist. And I love them. I've had their self-titled, not their self-titled album, their debut album called Turn It Loud. I've had that in my collection for years, over a decade. And that's all I ever had from them. And this is their follow-up album, Line of Fire, which I wasn't as familiar with, but I gave it one listen, and it's pretty good. I'll have to listen to it again, but I like what I heard. It's just, like I said, straight up hard rock. Not too heavy, but enjoyable. And I really like their style. And I can't help but notice that this guy right here, well, wait, might seem better here. I can't help but think that he looks just like Alex Van Halen. He looks like a cross between Alex Van Halen and Mark the Animal Mendoza from Twisted Sister. Don't you guys think? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, Headpins, Line of Fire. Definitely check it out. I like them. All right. This is where it gets real. I don't know. I struck gold, so to speak. Well, I think that this has been on my want list for years. Not an uncommon album. It's fairly easy to find, but I was never at the right place at the right time. It was either too pricey or not in the best condition, but I finally got myself a really, really good shape album. Rewind. I finally found myself a great copy. There we go. Plain and simple. Screaming for Vengeance, Judas Priest. Love this album. Had it on cassette, had it on CD, never had it on vinyl. finally found a copy for $12 at Spin It. It was in the new arrivals. I was there with Plot. I'm like, what? Like, what? Okay, well, it's usually not that cheap. It's usually pretty pricey. So I'm like, what's wrong with it? I look at it. The record is near mint. The sleeve is still in the shrink. I don't know if you guys can see that. It still has the original shrink wrap. It's just open on the side. And yeah, it plays great and it sounds amazing. So for 12 bucks, I'm definitely not complaining. I've been wanting it for a long time. I don't know if I say this is my favorite Judas Priest album, but I mentioned before it has that special place in my heart. It's the first Judas Priest album I ever heard in full. So it's got that special place for me. So happy to finally have it on vinyl. And it doesn't stop there, my friends. Oh no. Not long after that, I went back to Max Media Outlet again, which is in Riverview, which is pretty close here in Moncton. It's just across the bridge. And again, he has some great stuff, and they're priced reasonably. And one day I was just kind of flipping through the records, and I saw this, Judas Priest Point of Entry. And I was like, oh man, and he hadn't priced it yet. So I asked him, how much are you asking for the Priest? And he said, oh, $10. Like, really? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I don't like to price too high. And that's when I knew I'm gonna like this place. So yeah, maybe if I take off the sleeve, there's less chance of a glare. So yeah, Point of Entry. Again, I was like, I'm building up my Judas Priest collection. Have to pick this one up. I have some hits on here. Hot Rockin'. What other hit is? Heading Out to the Highway was another hit. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and it's just great to build up my Judas Priest collection. Oh, and again, I heard also if you squint hard enough, and you look at the cover, you can see a woman's undergarments, right? Panties. But I can't see it. I squint, like, I guess I can kind of see it. I don't know. I've never been good at that stuff. It's like those 3D Magic Eye puzzles from back in the day. I could never see them. So yeah, I heard from Scott Waters that if you squint hard enough, you can see a woman's panties. I don't know. You'll have to tell me how it works. All right, let's move on. So this is all I got of that one trip when I went to Mass Media Outlet, and then I went back a few days ago, and he had some more new arrivals, and he was starting to get to know me at this point, and he was like, dude, you should check in this crate. There's stuff you're gonna like in there. I'm like, okay. So I start looking, and I'm like, oh, he's not kidding. So I got the Best of Judas Priest. This is an earlier release. This is from 1978, I believe, on Gull Records or Attic Records here in Canada, and this is a Canadian pressing on Attic. And this is just really good. Side A is from their debut album, Rock-A-Rolla, with the exception of Diamonds and Rust. That was on the Sin After Sin album, I believe. And side 2 is from Sad Wings of Destiny. So yeah, it's just a really, really great collector's item. That's pretty much why I bought it. I try not to get too many best of compilations, but couldn't really pass this one up. Love that cover too. And I guess this was released back in the day. Was released without the consent of the band. I found that out when I did some research online, which I thought was interesting. And Victim of Changes was one of my favorite Priest songs. And hearing it on vinyl, like I had heard it on CD many times, but hearing it on vinyl for the first time, it's a whole different ballgame, man. It sounds so much better, obviously. It should come as no surprise, but it's just so awesome finally hearing it on vinyl. Especially I have a better turntable now, so I really get the full experience. But yeah, check out this photo of the band back in the day. Look at Rob Halford was credited as Bob Halford at the time, and he's kind of looking like, I don't know, David Bowie or something. It's really weird. It's not the Judas Priest we would later know and love. So thought that was interesting. And at that same trip, you guys probably noticed it playing in the background. Let me grab it. Ha ha! Unleashed in the East, live in Japan. Again, my Priest collection tripled in the past month. I had two albums of theirs. I had Rock-A-Rolla and Ram It Down, and now I've added those 4, so I have 6 albums now. And I'm so happy. I'm a huge Judas Priest fan. I just didn't have much in my collection, and now I just found these. The price was right, so I had to go for it. This released in 1979, which I wish I had a few weeks back, because Pla and I did our 1979 Spotlight video, but I didn't have this to talk about. Now I have it, and I finally gave it a spin right before making this video, and now I'm spinning it for a second time directly after. You know when you like an album so much that you put it on a second time, like in a row? Yeah, it's so good. Got a lot of their popular songs on here. You know, Exciter, Running Wild, Sinner, Ripper, The Green Manalishi, Victim of Changes. The live version of Victim of Changes is amazing. So yeah, and this, you know, there's a bit of controversy in here. A lot of people jokingly call it Unleashed in the Studio, and Rob Halford admitted that his vocals didn't come out too good on the recording, so he had to go to the studio and re-record a lot of his vocals, if not all of the vocals. I'm not too sure what the true story is there, but to me, you know, I don't mind. I understand that sometimes, you know, it might sound good when you're there live, but on tape, you know, it doesn't always do justice. So they got to go in the studio and, you know, fix some stuff, tweak some stuff. It happens, right? So that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. But yeah, Unleashed from the East. Happy to finally have this in the collection. It's really good to build up my Judas Priest collection. Really happy. Oh, I'm gonna put this back in display. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. That again, that same trip at Matt's Media Outlet. I'm loving that store, man. Found myself a copy of Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. Another one I didn't have, and I'm an Aerosmith fan. I was just missing a lot of their stuff in my collection. Yeah, this is a great one. Same Old Song and Dance, Lord of the Thighs, Train Kept a Rollin', one of my favorite cuts on here, and Seasons of Wither is another favorite track on here. Just a great kind of mellow track, you know, bluesy rock, as expected from Aerosmith. Yeah, this was $6. I wasn't gonna pass it up, and it's, you know, the cover has a little tiny bit of ring wear, but the vinyl is in great shape, plays great, not one skip, which is good because this turntable has tendency to skip easy, but not one skip. So yeah, it's great. So another one, an important title from Aerosmith I need now is Draw the Line. But my collection is getting up there. Yeah, I think the self-titled and Draw the Line, and I think I'll have every 70s Aerosmith album. I think. Don't quote me on that. Alright, now this one was $1. It's kind of a blind buy, but it was $1. I was curious. I thought I'm not going to pass it up. So, you know, for $1. Here it is. Tommy Shaw, Girls with Guns. Again, a blind buy. Well, in a sense, it's a blind buy. Obviously, I know who Tommy Shaw is, you know, from Styx and Damn Yankees. I'm not familiar with his solo stuff, so I was curious. And for $1, I'm not going to pass it up. And I thought, well, if it's priced that low, it's got to be trash or something. Check the record. Great condition, just very dusty, but that's an easy fix. So, yeah. I don't know what to expect. If anyone knows anything about this, let me know. I wouldn't say I have low expectations, but I have a feeling it's going to be poppy. It's 84, right? So it's probably going to be poppy, sappy love songs. I don't know, but maybe not. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect, so I'm really curious to give this one a spin. Actually, I might do it after I'm done this video. So yeah, Girls with Guns, Tommy Shaw. I love that cover too. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, please let me know. Leave a comment below, like if you know what you guys think of this. You know, is it good? Is it not good? And this is the last one. This is the last one to talk about. This was a gift from, again, my buddy Pla. Mentioned him a few times in this video, but we've been hanging out a lot. And we're just talking about Kiss one night. He was hanging out here and just talking about the Kiss albums that I'm missing, that I'm looking for. And Animalize came out. He's like, you don't have Animalize? I said, no. Do you want it? Well, yeah. So he's like, I'll give it to you. So here it is. Just being the nice guy that he is, he just gave me his copy. He recently picked it up. He didn't care too much for it. So he's like, oh, just have it, man. So, you know, he's a great guy like that. And we do that. We kind of like, you know, if I have something that I don't really like, but I know he likes, I'll just give it to him and we'll kind of trade back and forth. So he gave me this one. This is the only Kiss album with Mark St. John on guitar. I had heard a few songs on here, but I never really listened to it all the way through. Because here's the thing. I was never big on the 80s Kiss. Anything after Creatures of the Night, I always kind of avoided. I mean, I heard some songs on compilations and whatnot, but I always kind of avoided. And until I joined the VC, I kind of gained a new appreciation for 80s Kiss, especially from SMF Captain Howdy, my buddy John. He really liked the 80s Kiss, and he actually sent me a copy of, which one was it? Hot in the Shade, which I gave it a listen, and that's what gave me the appreciation. I'm like, you know what? 80s Kiss is not all that bad. It's not as glammy. That's what I was afraid of. I thought they were all glam. I was kind of like, no thanks. But no, they're actually very good. 2 hits on here: Heaven's on Fire and Thrills in the Night. And to be honest, those are my the least favorite songs on here. Those are the songs I like. I mean, yeah, I like the least. I really don't like those songs. Heaven's on Fire, Thrills in the Night. They were big hits, and they're probably the glammiest on here. I don't care for them. But other songs, like the opening track, I've Had Enough, Into the Fire, really rocking track. And Lonely is the Hunter, Under the Gun, probably my favorite cut on here. The first cut on side 2, Under the Gun. It's just it's so heavy. The guitar work is amazing. And yeah, again, new appreciation for 80s Kiss Animalized. Really better than I expected. So I need a few more now from the 80s. Asylum is one I'd like to get eventually. But yeah, really happy to have this. Plah, thanks man. This is really nice of you to give to me. He actually gave me another gift, but that's going to be in the CD update, which is going to be in a separate video because I've been talking for a little while now. So whew. Thanks for bearing with me, people. It's very hot. It's very hot today. One of the hottest days of the summer, so I'm kind of having a hard time talking. I'm burning up, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, as usual. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, your thoughts, your opinions. Always love to hear that stuff. Always make it a point to reply. And take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of the hot day. Peace.